Hi everyone, very good morning, one and all. And today, this video is mostly focusing on a slight drift towards the preparation of AIIMS because AIIMS notification is out and the examination will be on November 18th, right? So the examination date is out, so there should be slight drift from your NEET preparation. And just go ahead with AIIMS once AIIMS is done, and again you need to come back to your NEET preparation. Okay, so before going in detail, there are few questions, there are few generalized questions that are posted by interns in specific and repeaters in specific. Okay, I'm just going to I'm just going to have a look at these questions. And if you're a student of MDS Conquer, if you're already part of MDS Conquer, or if you're about to join MDS Conquer, AIIMS is must for all MDS Conquer students. You can immediately ask me why. Okay, there are many reasons. I can give uh, thousands of explanation why AIIMS is must. Why AIIMS, you need to go ahead with AIIMS before NEET. There are many reasons for that. Okay, we will discuss those reasons in specific in the group, but I just want to highlight 4 or 5 important things that are very important, which are going to create a greater impact in your NEET examination hall. One is particularly if you are an intern. Okay, if you are an intern, definitely AIIMS is going to be your first exam. If you are a repeater and have not attempted exam last year, definitely AIIMS is going to be your first exam. I mean, leave about your regular weekend examinations that are giving on site or on phone. Leave about them because they are not going to create a good impact on you, because few people they give examination on phone, few people they give examination with lots of disturbances, so you can't imagine that as a final exam. It's not going to create a greater impact. It's not going to create the impact that a final exam is going to create. Okay, so examination in a particular center, in a particular hall, and okay, with all the rules and regulations, is going to give you an idea that what is going to happen on the day of NEET exam. And specifically interns and the people who has not given the last year entrance, it is mandatory that you have to give your AIIMS exam, because it's going to give an idea that's what is going to happen on the day of NEET. Okay, that is the first best reason why I ask you to go ahead with the examination. So apart from these, majority of your NEET and majority of your AIIMS centers are metropolitan cities with hectic traffic and hectic pollution, right? And how you get prepared, because regular weekend examinations, you sit in a decent room in a decent atmosphere, and few interns they work on libraries, and few people who are working on offline center, the closed and a decent place where they are working on, and regularly the examination will be a part of daily life. Okay, for example, online people, the examination will be on Sunday. They'll have a decent breakfast, decent, I mean everything decent, and sit in an idle room and give an examination, done. Offline people in a different atmosphere, examination is done. But what is going to happen on the day of examination is a question, because you need to travel a long distance one day before examination. You need to stay an odd place. I mean, people, locality of Hyderabad or locality of metropolitan cities, okay, acceptable. But 80% of the people are from different places who has to travel long distance towards the metropolitan cities for your respective centers. Means you need to get your things ready. There are lots of things that are going to play a role, because you need to sleep one day before examination in an odd place. It may affect your sleep patterns. So apart from these, there are many things: your food habits, your water you drink, pollution, the traffic, the journey, everything is going to play an important role. So if you encounter any difficulties in your AIIMS examination, you can correct them for your NEET. If you have difficulties in your NEET exam, you can correct them in the next year NEET. That's the reason why I'm asking you to give AIIMS examination. And once you enter the examination hall, there will be few things that are happening in your mind, because adrenal is the one that's going to play a vital role. Few people, adrenal comes into action when you start the paper. Few people, it may take 10 to 15 minutes. So that's again an important thing when you're giving exams like AIIMS and NEET. A time factor is very important thing. So I feel like time factor is going to play a very vital role in your NEET exam. So you are going to get prepared for it by analyzing the AIIMS exam. There are few things like you may go wrong, overlook, your mind may not work well, you feel like some sort of revision is required for this particular thing. Everything is going to keep something, everything you're going to learn something from your AIIMS exam, and that's going to play a very vital role in your NEET. So I want you guys to give your AIIMS exam at your best shot, and it is must for all the MDSCONQUER students. So coming to the scores, once the result of AIIMS is out, everything you need to take in a positive sense, because there are few people who get frustrated with the ranks in the AIIMS, but it's not in the same way. It should not happen. Main intention of giving your AIIMS exam, the same thing should not happen. There are few negative things that can happen in your AIIMS exam. They should not happen in your NEET. That's a primary goal. It's not about getting a seat. It's not about breaking something. It's not about all this shit. Okay, this can happen too, but main intention is there are few negative aspects in the AIIMS exam that may happen to you, but it should not happen to the NEET. They should be modified. Whether your revision, whether your aspect towards the preparation, whether the traffic, whether the pollution, whether the food habits, whether water, whatever, there are many multiple factors that are going to control your examination apart from your stuff what you are carrying in your brain. So stuff what you are having in your brain is just like 30 to 40%. There are many other factors that are going to play a role. So you will know what are these factors, and you will know how to control these factors by the day of NEET exam. I hope this is very, 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 very clear. And simply give a tag to AIIMS November as a trailer version of your NEET. So trailer is a very important thing for a movie, right? So similarly, your AIIMS exam is very, very important. Not to get in AIIMS, because getting into AIIMS is just like 1%, not one also. It's like 0.001%. Means out of 10,000 people, only 10 people will get into AIIMS exam. Okay, so it's not about the main primary goal is not about getting a seat in AIIMS, is to learn something which should not happen in your NEET. And the second object is getting a good seat. That, I mean, like apart from the hard work and smart things what we are doing, we need some margin of luck to be in the top 5, 6. Okay, in the same way. I hope you're very clear why you should give AIIMS exam, and the fees is also acceptable, that is 1,000 rupees, and majority of your centers of AIIMS and NEET they coincidence, so it is good to give AIIMS examination at any cost. Okay, because things which are done in the NEET should not have an impact. So if the same things were done in the AIIMS, you have an ample time like 30-40 days. You can correct them, you can focus them, and you can give your best shot for your NEET exam. And the next question you can ask me, like you said some drift towards the preparation. What is the drift actually? What is the difference between AIIMS preparation and NEET preparation? People of MDSCONQUER from the past 6 months, few people from 8 months, and few people from 1 year are really working hard here. And what is the drift that is needed, sir? The next question. Drift is already implemented in your schedules. Drift is already implemented in your question papers. The drift is like my main focus towards the AIIMS drift is a diagram based question, because your NEET is going to have 2 or 3 diagram based questions out of 240, whereas your AIIMS will have 25 to 30 odd diagram based questions in a 90 marks paper. It simply gives an example that 1/3 of questions, means 33 to 35% of your AIIMS question paper is completely filled with diagrams, and most of these diagrams are clinically based diagrams. So that's a drift we need, because MDSCONQUER, it's a media sharing way of discussing the things. It's a media way of sharing the questions. It's a media way of giving the examination. So everything is related to media, and it's an easy way to exchange the colorful diagrams which can be in your AIIMS examination. That's what happening from the last 1 year or last 6 months or last 3 months of different batches. So you have more diagram based related discussions and more diagram based related stuff. And if you open yesterday's examination hall, there are more than like 10 to 15 diagram based questions which are going to be a key role in your AIIMS. So if you go in detail, your AIIMS examination will be for 10 marks, 10 seats, and the number of questions will be 90, and you are going to have 90 minutes for each question, and minus 1/3 is negative. Okay, that's very key important rule, because your NEET is minus 1/4 negative and your AIIMS is minus 1/3 negative. I hope it's very clear, right? So the next important aspect is each question is, like you need to solve each question in 1 minute, and of course you need to go for a 2 round of two-round examination while you're solving the question paper. So you should finish each question in 50 seconds. And of course, there are lengthy questions. There will be lengthy questions in your AIIMS examination when you compare with NEET, because NEET, majority of the questions will be single liners or two liners maximum, whereas in your AIIMS, majority of the questions will be more than 2 lines, more than 3 lines. So you need to plan accordingly. You need to have a good practice of reading the stuff on the desktop and understanding the things as fast as possible, because you have in and around like 50 to 52 or 55 seconds for each question in your AIIMS examination hall. That's a slight difference from your NEET. Whereas coming to diagram based questions are already discussed. There will be 25 to 30 diagram based questions, and regular questions will be just 60 to 65. So all these are going to play a greater impact, and that's what the basic difference between the AIIMS and the NEET exam. And what you need to focus is very simple. 90% of your questions are mostly on clinicals according to the last 6 to 7 years papers analysis, and 80% of these clinical questions will be from your oral surgery in specific and cons, endo, perio and ortho, and pedo and prostho. Particularly, you need to focus more on implants and oral medicine and oral pathology. So apart from these, you can add DADH and general anode, because I have seen many questions related to these two subjects, and of course you have to add dental materials to this. And out of these 25 to 30 diagram based questions, most of the questions, 90-95% of the questions will be clinical based. And the special topic, the special subject that you need to consider when you're going ahead with oral surgery in specific to AIIMS, there are a few topics that are very, very important which are not covered in your basic books what you are reading. So these are the few topics that you need to focus on when you're dealing with exams like your AIIMS. Okay, the main topic I feel like is focusing on golden hour, and focusing on basic life support, and focusing on life-saving procedures, life-saving drugs, life-saving equipments, all tubes, XYZ which are there in your ICU room, medically compromised surgeries related to the medically compromised patients, and medical management of patient on the dental chair. Okay, these are the few aspects. Of course, you need to focus more on the fracture management of both maxilla, mandible. Even you can add a note about the plastic surgery. So these are the important aspects that you need to cover in the oral surgery, which are not there in the basic books. Okay, basic books subject is mandatory. Apart from these, you need to cover these subjects, because you will find very limited questions on basic life support if you open your regular basic MCQ book. Okay, so these are a few important topics that you need to add on. Coming to the endodontics, again, it's an important subject and an important area where they love to ask questions, and I want you guys to spend much of your time with your rotary endodontics, because I have seen many questions, and as a BDS student, I feel like we are unaware of this rotary endodontics, and I have seen many questions related to rotary endodontics basics as well as the advances and the recent classification. So you need to focus on rotary endodontics 1, and regular, you need to go with the regular stuff. You need to go with your PP books, you need to go with your dental pulse and all the groups related stuff. So apart from this, I want you guys to add a note on MTA, recent modifications in MTA, recent modifications in irrigation solution, recent modifications in almost all the steps of your endodontics. And I want you guys to add a note on biodentin. So these are the areas where they love to ask questions. And next goes with ortho. Ortho is mostly diagram based questions. You need to learn each and every instrument that is used by your PG student. That's a simple conclusion I can come with the AIIMS exam. Almost all the appliances, relevant diagrams and their uses, and all the instrument used by the PGs and their users. So that's add on to ortho. And coming to the pedo, pedo was recently added branch to your AIIMS list. Okay, it was added 1 year back, one and a half year back. So now they are focusing more on the pedo based, and I want you guys to focus more on child psychology and learn pedo in combination with ortho, and just go ahead with your PP books, because PP books has covered majority of the diagram based questions, and they're very important. If you're planning to go ahead, try to cover the diagrams that are present in the McDonald textbook, because I have seen many AIIMS related questions directly taken from this particular book. Please try to focus on the tables and the charts that are given in the McDonald if you have time. That's what the pedo is concerned about. And coming to the perio, there are many things in the Perio, and I want you guys to just go ahead with Karanza diagrams. Whenever you have time, just open half an hour, just turn the pages of Karanza. If you find anything new, just make a note, because I feel like this is the best way of making things out. And your PP books are going to add more diagram based questions, because there are 2 or 3 diagram based questions which are direct picks from your PP. Okay, they are new questions to AIIMS, but they're already there in your Power Play books. That's what the advantage, because Power Play books Perio part was directly taken and prepared from Karanza. All the important points, all the important tables, all the important diagrams, which an UZ is unaware, is collected and it is precised in your Power Play books in the form of Perio. So I want you guys to finish the Perio PP books, which are directly or indirectly going to add 1 extra mark when compared to your competitor in Perio. So coming to the prosthetics, I feel like you need to focus more on RPD. Okay, don't go for all hi-fi textbooks. Just stick onto your Nallasomi. Just turn the pages with a decent look or diagram-based questions, which are like, if you feel this is a new thing, just have a look. Just diagram-based, just a diagram and 1 or 2 points relevant to the stuff. Just add on and learn what is that appliance, what is the class, what is the condition, what is this instrument, what is the use of this instrument. So just go with the basic stuff. Even, I mean, like, they may ask new thing, but it's very easy thing if you just go with the basic textbook. Don't go for hi-fi textbooks, as many of the mentors suggest. We are an undergraduation level. Just if it is like PG, okay, accept it. We are an undergraduate. Okay, just go with your Nallasomi. Don't go for all hi-fi things. Nallasomi is a very decent book that's going to cover majority of your diagram-based questions and majority of the things that are necessary for AIIMS and relevant to Prosth. And of course, implants is one of the golden thing that you need to make a note. Whether it is AIIMS or whether it is NEET or whether it is XYZ exam, implant is mandatory, because implant is the latest trend that is coming into the market and they love to ask questions. And implant, you need to read from all aspects. You need to read the implant from prosthetic aspect, surgical aspect, and periodontal aspect. All aspects, each and every aspect of implant was decently covered in your PP books in 2 or 3 parts. So periodontal surgery is related to the implants, indications, contraindications, advantages, disadvantages, 1-step surgery and 2-step surgery, how the steps goes, and what are the things, all numericals related to the periodontal aspect were you covered in your implants part. Apart from this, the prosthetic part, the dimensions, distance from anatomical landmarks, different types of implants, how you can identify each type of implant, what are the complications of implant, X, Y, Z related to the implants, and the implant material is of course titanium. Each and every point of titanium were covered in your dental materials. Each and every point of the calculations and the measurements were covered in the prosthetic part, and each and every related to the surgery were covered in the periodontal part. All these are very important and going to add 2 or 3 marks. Apart from this, the anatomy related to the implants, that is D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. What are these bones? What are these densities? Where are they present? All these stuff are the basic stuff which are very important in the implants aspect. So apart from this, there are many other things that we are going to add on in your groups. Okay, a few things that we should not keep on the regular social media. There are very other things which are very important and we'll be adding in specific in your regular groups. Okay, we'll be dealing that further. So what you need to do, must do, okay, which is my point of preparation is always in focus with NEET. I don't want anyone to drift completely to AIIMS. AIIMS is important, but NEET is more important. AIIMS is okay, but NEET is very important. So almost all your preparations, must do's and everything will be a drift towards AIIMS, but mainly focusing on your NEET. So PP books are mandatory because majority of the PP books were prepared from the basic textbooks. Okay, so you can encounter any new thing if 2 or 3 questions from PP books, textbook reading, textbook scientist names, and textbook related numericals, textbook related tables, textbook related flowcharts, textbook related diagrams can definitely add on to your scores. That's going to make a difference in exams like AIIMS, right? So PP books are mandatory for AIIMS exam. And second thing, textbook reading is of course going to play a very vital role, because 2 or 3 questions, new questions from textbook, if you're going ahead with textbook reading, that's going to have an additional advantage in exams like at AIIMS as well as in the NEET. And of course, MDSCONQUER has an upper hand when compared to the rest of the people because we focus more on textbook reading. It's not like blindly reading the whole chapter in the textbook. It's about reading things which can be converted to MDSCONQUER because the mentors here are very dedicated. They read textbook, underline the textbook, and they convert that into notes, they convert that into paper books. And few times if it is like very new thing, advanced thing, we'll just post the direct print from the textbook with underlined, highlighted, and that's what we are doing in regular offline center. And offline center we have more textbook reading. Regular stuff is going on other side, and on other side we are going with more textbook reading. That is very very important in examinations like AIIMS and NEET to show that margin of upper hand when compared to your competitor. Because pulse question, okay, 90% of people they go with right. PP question, 20% of people will go right. Whereas stuff that is discussed on the group, 5 to 10, 15%. Stuff discussed on the offline center, 5 to 10% of people. And the textbook reading is again going to have a greater impact. That's going to create some advantage over your competitor. So I want you guys to have a decent textbook reading, at least the stuff that is being posted on your groups and XYZ. And of course, time factor. You need to consider your time. Give, like, for example, if you're like planning to have 10 hours per day for preparation, give 2 hours to NEET and 8 hours to your 2 hours to your AIIMS and 8 hours to your NEET preparation. NEET means NEET is going to include AIIMS, but AIIMS and majority of the times may not include because diagram-based questions are like learning a diagram-based question is more important for AIIMS, but learning a diagram-based question with some sort of synopsis is important for your NEET examination. That's what the smarter work that we need to do when you are drifting towards the AIIMS for this upcoming 1 or 2 months, right? And of course, practice, because AIIMS, I said, like, it's a margin. It's a margin means what to go and what to leave is again important, because how many questions you attempt, how many questions you should leave, how you need to attempt, and because it's a negative based examination, negative marking is there, elimination methods, there are many other methods that you need to implement when you're going ahead and when you're solving a particular MCQ, because every MCQ is going to create a greater impact. For example, rank 6 or rank 7 or rank 8, you may or may not end up with a seat. So even if you get a rank 8 or rank 80 or rank 800 or 8000, it does not make any difference. You are not going to end up with a seat. So you should be in the top 5 list. Further, you need to be more accurate. Further, you need to have more practice, multiple direction practice. Of course, our online site is providing more than 200 odd papers for now, and probably it will be increasing to 300 before you give your AIIMS examination. There will be lots of practice, and we are planning to have a specific diagram based examination for each subject and specific diagram based class for each subject in your offline center, and probably we're planning to upload those videos in the online too, but I'm not sure about that. I'll be updating in further. And people who are in and around Hyderabad, please try to attend your offline classes to go ahead with the diagram based discussion of AIIMS. We are planning, like, every clinical subject you will be having a diagram based discussion of 2 hours of class in your offline centers. That is fixed, and probably the date and the timetable and the schedule will be out within 5 or 6 days. So of course, the stress management, MDSCONQUER is best in reducing your stresses with different strategies and everything. Find a stress buster, talk with a friend, talk with a mentor, just go with a song and try to manage your stress, because stress management is again an important area where majority of us we go zero. And coming to the scheduling, of course, the new schedule was already posted in the group, and I hope these PDFs were already posted in the group. This is what the subject-wise analysis. I want you guys to give rating out of 10 and number of revisions, and just add some remarks. And according to that, in our offline center, we are planning an individual timetable for every person. Or like yesterday, we got 65 odd plus in the offline center. That was the highest until now. Offline center was open just 2 months back, and now the strength is almost like 65. It's a good thing. So we are having an individual subject analysis and individual timetable for everyone. Okay, precise timetable for everyone. This is what the things are, and this is what the schedule for the upcoming week. And it varies to individual people who have started now. You can just focus on parts. Okay, that is part 1, part 2, and part 3. You can just focus on these part 3s, and you can spend like 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 6 hours. People who are spending 6 hours, you can convert this part 1 to 2 hours, part 2 to 2 hours, and part 2. People who are working like 9 hours, you can cover part 1 3, part 2 3, and part 3 3. I hope it's okay. And people who are spending more time now, it was already, the command was given. I was asking like interns to quit the preparation and focus more on the preparation. Now people are spending 13, 14, and 15 hours, and offline people, of course, 90% of offline people are spending more than 13 hours per day with the books in the offline center. So that's a positive sign. So for a 13 hours or a 14 hours, you need to have a decent uh, overlook aspect. Okay, this is what the aspect is. People who have started preparation now, they can focus on the parts, and people who have already started the preparation, they have a different aspect. Okay, 30 minutes for every pharmacology classification every day from today, and you can go with the part 1 with the regular schedule that is there in your the headings, I mean the chapters that are there in your pulse. And you can add 2 hours. People who have time, you can add 2 hours for the subject old revision, basing upon the subject wise analysis, where the rating is less, where the revisions are less. You can add that particular subject and just go ahead with the revision for every two, I mean like every day you can spend 2 hours with this. And regular part 2, you can just go ahead, and every day 1 hour I want you guys to solve one online paper, and preferably in the time of NEET examination, that is 2 to 6, in and around like 2 to 6, I want you guys to spend 1 hour with your online papers that are available on site, and go with the part 3. And every day 1 hour, whenever you have time, spend 10 pages of pp. You need to cover every day, you need to cover 10 to 15 pages of pp. And part 4 is revision. Okay, make a note, I want you guys to finish 2017 and 2018 mcqs as fast as possible. Okay, there are 2 or 3 books available in the market, just finish them as fast as possible, because at the end, don't keep these stuff at the end, because they are very very important, because and you can encounter few repeats from these books, from these papers and MCQs. And of course, these questions are directly or indirectly discussed in the group, and they are given in the form of PP, or they are given in the form of your PDFs, or they are given in the form of your MCQs. So you know, no need to worry, but I want you guys to finish this as fast as possible. Just we'll go with a rough scheduling. Just go with half an hour pharmacology classification, deciduous dentition. People who are initially starting, you can cover in 2 hours. Revision can be done in 1 hour, and people who are slow readers and spending much time, you can finish this in 3 hours. Okay, just go with the old revision. People who are in the first round, second round, and third round of revision, just go with the old revision subject, and you can cover the development of 2, that's dental histology part. And 1 hour you can focus on online papers. Enamel dental histology can be done. PP books, 10 pages of either DA or DH can be started. Just go ahead with the revision. This is a rough plan, and you need to modify according to your comfort, because there will be housewives, there will be people who are working in the clinics, there will be people who has kids to take care, so they may not spend much of their time with the books. Okay, 6 hours, 7 hours is acceptable for such people. And the second category is like people who are in offline places, people who are far away from homes, people who are in the colleges, interns quitting the college and preparing for the full time, people who are like working more than 14 hours, 15 hours. I can see individuals who are working for 16, 17, and 18 too. But if you're more than 14, you can just follow this schedule with slight alteration. If you're already done with your, I mean, few people, they're very good at reading, they're very fast readers, and they can complete all the DADH in 1 or 2 days. So you can plan another subject. So such people can ping me in personal, just fill this subject-wise analysis paper. We can have a precise individual schedule for each and every one. That's what the specialty of MDSCONQUER is, focusing on each and every individual. And like few people, they go read fast, they go fast, they learn fast, they have more time. So such people will be on the upper hand, and people who has less time, it's always like not on the upper hand, the lower hand. It's always like give your best shot. If your mother working 2 hours, give your best shot. If you're intern working 4 or 6 hours, give your best shot. If you're clinician, don't have time, spending 1 hour, give your best shot. I mean, like, working depends upon multiple factors. So apart from time, there are many other factors that are going to play a very vital role. I finished the stuff very fast. I finished the whole syllabus within 3 or 4 hours. And the same stuff my friend used to take more than 1 or 2 days. So don't compare. Okay, They're working 14 hours, idle hours is 14 hours, idle hours is 15. No, not idle. It's not idle. Idle thing is like completing your task on time. Idle thing is like giving your best shot. Idle thing is like keeping MDS preparation as priority one. If you're doing these things, you're going in a perfect way. It's not about like 14 hours is idle time or 15 hours is idle time. How you need to segregate time. I'm not giving my best shot. There are few interns yesterday when I was posted this slide on the group. We are just working 6 hours. How can we manage? No, you work 6 hours. Give your best shot. Few people max they can work only 24 hours. 25 hours is impossible because a day is 24 hours. So max is 24 hours. So don't go with irrelevant logic. Don't compare your preparation with some XYZ preparation. I hope we guys have matured. Majority of us are interns, done with our internship. Of course it's 24 25 plus age and we have that maturity level of understanding. Don't compare with your life to the individual life, your preparation to others' preparation, your marks to other marks, your rank to other marks. We will be comparing this in the final exam, not now. What you are today and what you are tomorrow, what you are on the day one of MDS Conqueror, and what you are now, what you are going to be. It's a comparison of you with you after a duration of time. It's not like comparison. Okay, my friend Geeta, she got All India first, and right now she was in Molana. Is she sending you any sort of her every month stipend, at least 10,000? Your good friend. No, no one do that, and it's not going to happen for sure. Okay, so no one is going to share their success. No one is going to share with your failure. It's you that you are going to share your success and failure. Max, the next influenced person may be your parents, according to the radius of action. So just focus on what you are doing. Okay, so that's what, guys. If you have any personal doubts, a crash course is going to start on September 19 2018. I mean, like it's not a promotional sort of video. It's morely precise to MDS Conquer students. Okay, main focus is MDS Conquer students. We don't have a better way of posting a lengthy high definition videos, so we have chosen our YouTube channel. Mainly this video is for MDS Conquer. So these are the pics of our offline institute, and things are going very fine and decent as per the schedule. I'm very happy for that. Okay, so these are the library and this is what the class, and thank you guys, and signing off, Dr. Srikanth. Love you all.